with the chieftaincy issues and what have you. With the GET Fund, the UDS, the developments that we see now, he was part of that as well. And so we went there in our numbers. And this was also, I saw Hudu Yaya and Co, NDC members, because of that Tamasco. And he was a child of the north, of Tamale. And we all went there as one. The divisions were lost there. As we sat on the plane, got there, everybody was very sad about his death. Went to the cemetery, buried him, came back to the mosque, and then we came back together. It is a sign that we are born with nothing, we go back with nothing. And the people that we meet as we grow up are those that become our friends and family. So in that light too, I am proud of him that he was able to unite us, even in death. And that is what we need to focus on as Ghanaians, that our politics should not divide us. We should remember the larger picture, that we were Ghanaians before we became different political entities or acquired various religions and what have you. And so being part of the North, I'm very proud of him. I am sad at the loss, but I am also happy that he was able to unite us and that he gave us this model that if you are educated, the sky is the limit.
Okay. I personally have taken a lot of inspiration from him for his demeanor. He was a gentleman, he was a politician who knew what he was about. We never heard him engage anybody in any politics of insults or anything, and that is a role model for all of us to look up to. And to the family and friends of Alhaji Mustafa Idris, we say our condolences. May the good Lord continue to shower his blessings upon all of you, and may the good Lord keep you and replace the loss that you have experienced for you. Thank you very much once again. Now, the issues at hand, madam, there's a lot of talk about one name once again, Dr. Reubro. He's at it again, running all over the place with all sorts of insinuation. First of all, let's talk about his suspension. Has he really indeed been suspended?
Yes, he has been suspended. I'm a member of the NEC. That's the highest body in the New Patriotic Party. We agreed that we will take this case to court. The petition that the MPP took to the Supreme Court, it was not a decision taken by any individual. It was a collective decision by this very eminent body. And we support that once we've all agreed to go to court. And so when you have a member who comes out and goes against that and makes derogatory remarks, it is against that decision. It is against that body. And so for me, as much as Doctor he's my friend. He's somebody that I regard, his opinion, I respected a lot. But I have to say this, he has goofed in this regard. Democracy goes with responsibilities. Your rights don't supersede mine. And as a group, we agreed that Dr. Bawumia should represent all the three petitioners. So he doesn't represent just himself. He represents Nanado, Jake, and the party. Because of that mandate in the Constitution that says that a citizen should take another to court. That is why the party did not. But those three people represent the party, in my opinion. And so, when they go in there being represented by Dr. Bawumia, and then a leading member, so to speak, comes to say that he's clueless, and we shouldn't even have taken the case to court. Where was he? I've never seen him at a NEC meeting. Why would he come out and say these things at this particular time? His rights don't supersede the rights of Dr. Bawumia. I hear people saying that we have been intolerant. Has he been tolerant? How about the rights of Dr. Bawumia? Somebody who rose to be the deputy governor of Bank of Ghana, became the vice presidential candidate, and inshallah will become the vice president of Ghana at the end of this court case. You say he's clueless? It doesn't make sense. What do you think his family thinks about him? How about the tolerance for him? He was in court for 19, we are now 26 days, but he was there in the hot seat. You cannot call such a man clueless. The whole world, even the judges, admired him. In Kumasi, they say, "Mima Bawumia," they say, "Why would they say that?" Dr. Reubro is entitled to his opinion. Unfortunately, he does not speak for all of us, and I agree with his suspension. Any member, even of the Girls' Guide, knows that we are subject to codes of ethics, and the NPP has a constitution. And if you are a member, not even a leading member, a member, you're supposed to project and protect the good image of the party. None of these things that Doctor has said project that. And so he has been suspended. He's talking about due process. How about the due process? Whereby, as a leading member, you have an issue that worries you. Why didn't he come to the NEC or to any of the members to talk about his issue? A leading member does not go on the radio to go and castigate other members who are fighting for this party. This petition is historic. It affects the core of who we are as a party and who we are as Ghanaians. And so, when so-called leading members and founding members go out to denigrate the party this way, I want to use this platform to tell them they are not bigger than the party. People have died for this party, right from Dankwa. And he has benefited from it. He is the man who formed a party when we were fighting to come. Yes, we were fighting to come to power. This was in the 90s. This is a founding member. And what did we do to him?
We brought him back.
He came back. He enjoyed being the CEO of VRA. He also enjoyed being the leader of the Ghana at 50. And then he came to stand for elections as a chairman of the party and lost. That does not give him the right to affect all those foot soldiers who worked for this party to come to power. It doesn't give you anybody the right to behave as if they are larger than the party and that it's only their opinions that count. I don't know what his issues are really. Because if you are a founder or a leading member of the party and you really believe in commitment and democracy, then you should have gone to discuss some of your issues with party elders. And if you are not happy about it, we have a system in the constitution whereby you will be heard. It's not about, I hear him say that he wrote letters and things about how the elections should be conducted. There's even a school of thought that seeks to say that he had wanted to be the campaign manager. And because he didn't get it, now he thinks that he can derail the process. It's not possible. These leading members, if they will not support the party, are fighting the freedom of that very party. They are fighting the freedom of Dr. Bawumia and mine and anybody else who believes in the MPP. They are fighting the freedom of Ghana because the cause of right and of freedom belongs to all of us. It's a heritage. And these so-called leading members should know that we of today have a responsibility to maintain the integrity and the credibility of this great party and nation.
Now, there's a point that you've amply made, which resonates very well with all of us, that the party has laid down procedures for addressing grievances. And so it is that we are suspending Dr. Reubro on the charge that he did not follow the rules and regulations. Now, he's also out there challenging us that we did not follow due procedure. How do you see that allegation?
I disagree with him. You are my child. You are a member of my family. If there is anything that you are not happy about in my family, you should come and we will sit at the table and talk. If you go out of that family without even discussing it with me or the family, you have already broken that contract that allows you to be heard again in any other way that a family usually handles things. Because the NPP is a family. It's a family of the elephant. We come together as one group with one voice. And as I said, it is the NEC that agreed for us to go to court. And so, as a member, not just a leading member, you should protect the integrity of that party and of that decision. You should not go outside of it. And so once you go against what we have all agreed to, you no longer deserve that due process. I think the party has been very lenient with him. And so we have, according to the Constitution, I wanted to get it, but I was just coming from the airport. If you read Article 3, you will see who is a member, what the roles and the obligations and functions of a member of the party, not just a leading member of the party. And so he has broken that contract between us. And so even though he is my friend, he is somebody that I respected, I agree with the decision for him to be suspended. And this should be a signal and a warning to anybody else who feels that they can take this party and derail it whenever they feel like it. Some people think that he's doing this for his personal gain, that he wants to be an ambassador in the NDC era, he wants a contract in the oil business, and so on and so forth. He has opened himself up for it. Others think that the NDC are using him, and I think that that is unfortunate if that is true. What I want to say is, he's only one person. The party is bigger than him. Let us focus. This is a mere diversion, a distraction, a sign of irresponsibility, because as a member of a party, if you cannot speak for that party, you sure cannot denigrate it. You must be committed and loyal to that party. Like I said, people have died for this party. It's because of my love for Mustafa and the party that I left my family in the rain. I wasn't the only one. Sheikh Damba was there, the Nasara coordinator, Abu Bakari. I met, yes, Laku Laku, Kennedy Japan, Kwabne Japan, and a host of other people. All stopped what we were doing to go there and mourn with our brother. All over, I've been getting text messages of how sad we are at this loss of a brother of the MPP. And that is how we should be. That is how families should be. And if you cannot do that, then of course you are also breaking the rights of those people. We also have rights. And he should be tolerant of us. We've been to an election that we felt that we should have won. And the Constitution allows us to take it to court. And if we have taken it to court, he doesn't agree, he's entitled to his opinion. But he doesn't have the right to denigrate the petitioner star witness that we have all agreed that he should go and represent us. And this Dr. Baumia, he has done so well, not only for the party, but for Ghana. He has shown what education can do for a person. He might not know everything, and I don't expect him to. Nobody can know everything. But he has done a marvelous job. And I want to thank him on behalf of the party for his courage and his intelligence that he has brought. And everybody can see it. You know, he's a very quiet person. Yeah. But for this case, we didn't really have the opportunity to know what he's capable of. And I think some people are afraid, you know, of the largeness that he has acquired in our body politic. And so they think that if they denigrate him, then it might push him down. It can't. He doesn't just speak for himself. We said the battle is the Lord's. It is God that made it possible for us to be able to take this case to court. Others wanted to take their case to court in 2004. Why were they not able to? 21 days is short. And so, by grace, we've been given another opportunity to go and address the wrongs that happened in the 2012 election. Nobody should think that they can stop that process. And if Dr. Reubro is allowing himself to be misused that way, it is unfortunate. If it's a child playing with a knife, you can say, take the knife away. But when a grown-up plays with a knife, what do? We should leave him be. He's entitled to his opinions. But we don't have to harbor people who are not committed to the MPP to be in it, because foot soldiers wake up at all hours and work for this party. For it to come to power in before 2000, he was one of the people who was castigating Kufuor, the IPAC. He was the one shouting the loudest against the New Patriotic Party. I'm surprised at him, because he's also one of the people who brought in the eye about how the media can be used so that the culture of silence will be broken. Talked about the stolen verdict. It is not good enough for you to say that you are building a nation and you are the same person who is destroying it. If you build a nation and you are the same person destroying it, the people of Ghana will not accept it. We will not forgive you. The NDC are supporting him because he seems to be speaking for him, because now it is the MPP that is not tolerant and so on. They are the last people to talk about intolerance of anybody. We saw what they did with Papa JJ and his wife. We saw them about even the judges killing the 9 cats. Where were their tolerance then? And today, they think that this court case is not going their way, so they must create diversions and distractions so that instead of talking about Afari Gyan, then we are talking about Reubro. He's just one citizen.
Even the chairman of the NDC wrote a letter castigating the members of his party for threatening his life. But ladies and gentlemen, we'll hold on at this moment and we'll come back so that we'll continue with the discussion. Welcome back to Minority Caucus. Now, you may have remembered that whole episode of Mr. Omari Wade, Chairman Omari Wade, and the fact that he was accused of a lot of things. 2 basic points stand out. That one, it has never been proved, neither has any concrete association been made between him and that particular image that was being sorted out. But he was arrested by the DNI, harassed, among other things. Now, on that day, I made a point, and I'm going to read to you an article, and I want you to look at this. This is Africa Watch, August 2011 edition of the Africa Watch. And I'm going to read to you from page 9. And this is what it said. In quote, "He likes nice things, including any nice woman." One source said, "It doesn't matter the age. If it is young and good, why not?" Which women gave birth to Mohammed's other 5 children is unclear, as is the number of women he has married. My point being that if an editor can publish this about a sitting vice president and get away with it, why would you harass an individual who you have not been able to prove is behind everything? Rule of law. The same measure must apply to all of us. We are therefore inviting the Ghana police and the other investigative agencies to take a look at some of these things, because it's not fair. It's not fair that you go ahead and do these things. People write whatever it is that they want. They publish whatever it is that they want against Akufo-Addo, against other elders of our society, and they're let to go scot-free. Others do it, and because they are NPP, they are arrested and harassed for no reason at all. That must stop. But coming back to our discussions, madam, there are some inherent contradictions between what Dr. Reubro Bobe has been saying and in the past and what he's doing now. For instance, reference has been made to his December 17th article where he says there was cheating in all of that.
Yes. Reubro Bobe is full of contradictions. I gave examples about him going to form his own party and then coming back to the MPP and even wanting to be the chairman of the party. And so I am not surprised about this latest contradiction that he wrote something. Is there a case for the stolen verdict? Charles Reubro Bobe. This is 17th December from my Joy Online. It was all over the papers at the time concerning some of the irregularities that he had sent a team of people around the country to find out in Ketu South and Akachi, where in an instance he was talking about pink sheets that had different or the same signature.
And if you allow me to read that particular write-up that he made, these are some of the comments that Dr. Reubro Bobe found wrong with the 2012 elections. He said, for example, in the Akachi North constituency in the Volta region, our official monitor reported thus. Earlier on, the police, the NDC party chairman, the presiding member, the DCE, the deputy regional minister, and other NDC executives came to the candidate's house to arrest the NPP candidate and some of his supporters. The reason given was that NPP boys were preventing Togolese from coming to cast their vote, and they believed that it is the NPP candidate who had asked the boys to do so. After a short argument, they went back and reinforced. We agreed and escorted the candidate to the police station. After writing his statement, they allowed him to go. But 5 minutes later, he was called by the regional police commander that he should come to Ho and write a statement because he, the regional police commander, did not want to lose his job. These are some of the allegations that Dr. Reubro Bobe made concerning the 2012 elections.
And this is the same person who is now saying that
we don't have a case.
We don't have a case. So, where is he? As I said, it is an attention-seeking platform that he sought with his latest, what would I say, shenanigans, or to be honest with you. And that's why others are giving credence to the belief that he might be seeking this ambassadorial position or get for contracts with the NDC in the oil area, because some even say that he's a consultant now for them, and so on and so forth. So, a man like that, we wish him well in his endeavors. But for the NPP, we believe in freedom. We have not subvented any laws in the Constitution. And I say that freedom works both ways. And anybody who seeks to fight the freedom of any individual in the New Patriotic Party or in Ghana, I am telling them that their time is past. In a democracy, we should respect each other. As much as we respect Dr. Reubro, he needs to respect Dr. Mahmoud, respect the neck. And if he cannot do those things, and he feels that he's going to derail the neck and the rest of us with it, then I agree. He should be suspended. And it is only those who wish to distract our attention that will keep on going at this. I want to say to MPP supporters, we have a solid case. And that it is the desperation of the NDC that is pushing them to bring out people like Dr. Reubro to distract us. Let us focus on the issues at hand and look at the irregularities, the violations, and the malpractices. They are coming out in the courtroom. Asidun Ketia is saying one thing, Afari Gyan is saying the other. Let us understand that we are building a country. And this historic event, this court case, is going to change all our lives. And so nobody should think that they can distract or divert attention or throw dust into anybody's eyes. That's why we can watch it and we can hear it. So, the Dr. Reubro and the Nyahutama Close and the Kwame Pianins, if you are leading members of the party, you must respect the party that you have received so much from, and respect the foot soldiers and other members, and understand that leadership is to inspire others, not to derail the process. We are in this with one voice. Supporters of MPP, this is a call for us to unite and to focus on what is at hand and educate others about the case in court.
Okay. Now, let's move on to the substantive matter of Dr. Afari Gyan being in the witness box. Today, he said that he's not very clear in his mind about what overvoting is. Being a very key member of the MPP and hearing that the person who conducted the elections is saying that he's not very clear in his mind what exactly the definition of overvoting is. How do you respond to that?
I'm flabbergasted. I can't believe it.
That's a big one.
Yes. It's unprecedented coming from the chief. He's the EC. If he is confused, then what did he tell the presiding officers? Because he told us that he was in charge of Ashanti and the Volta, their trainings and what have you. So how can he, in that same light, come and tell us that he is confused? No wonder so many things went wrong, if that is what he is saying. And was it Bafuboni? Asked the same question. If you are confused, what do you expect the rest of us to do then? Because you are the head of that institution. You have prepared all these guides and what have you. Overvoting is a serious issue. And if you cannot speak to it properly, then we have a serious problem at hand.
Another thing that he admitted to today was that the cancellation of electoral results that happened in particular constituencies, he was unaware of them until the petition was placed before him. What does that tell you about the credibility of the electoral results? The returning officer says he didn't know.
Those things are unfortunate. Even come down to your own home. If your child says that, for example, Alhaji Mustafa is dead, and his child says he's not aware that he has died, there are certain things that happen in your home, in your organization, that you cannot say you are not aware of as a leader. And how did you declare? Were those results not part of the declaration? If they were part of the declaration, then you were aware, because you used those results to declare. You did not say that because I didn't know, I didn't use them, but they were used. And those people are your staff. Are you denying them whether they are temporary or not? They were people that you engaged. Ghana gave over 200 million in the budget for this electoral exercise, right from the biometric machines and what have you. He kept coming to say, and the money is not there, it's not enough. He was given, I think, 150 at a point, and so on. I won't be surprised if it was even more at the end. And he told us that he was going to conduct this election fairly, transparently. And we've come out and realized that it didn't happen. And he himself has admitted that some of these things were errors. But my brother, if all these errors, whether they are transpositional, they are clerical, they are administrative, were all errors, then the president's declaration was an error. So we have an error president. Based on all this, he's making Ghana a joke. This is a man who has huge credentials. He's been to Kenya, he's been to where he's done this, and he's looking at his CV and dreaming of how they're going to engage him again because he's no longer going to be with the EC. He has a responsibility to the taxpayer that has given him all these opportunities. He's the longest serving EC commissioner in this country. And he's not just talking about himself, he's talking about the development of a nation. We seek to deepen our democracy. And if Afari Gyan can sit in the witness box and tell us that he is confused about overvoting, what else was he confused about?
Madam Otiko, one thing that struck very well today was also this problem that had to do with the fact that certain portions of the electoral register are in doubt. I'm pretty sure that when it's time for the cross-examination by the petitioners, we'll look at it. But looking at the position of Dr. Afari Gyan so far, he not knowing critical things that he's supposed to know, and he not being necessarily on top of the ball, does that give us any assurance? Errors here, errors there, this I don't know, this is not supposed to be like that, all of that, really, does that give any...
Afari Gyan, I believe, is trying to salvage, he's doing damage control. We can all see that there was something very rotten in these elections. Very, very rotten. And he has no excuse because he was the one in charge of this whole process. And this is his last election. He has that sole responsibility of ensuring that Ghana goes well and better in our democracy. Because this is the height of what democracy is. These elections, where you go to select a leader who becomes the government, who determines the destiny. Democracy determines the destiny of a nation because you elect the president and the parliamentary candidates. And so when there are irregularities and violations and malpractices, and you come out and appear confused, he must come again to the people of this country because this is not his first election.
What for me was a slam dunk in all of this, in all of today's testimony, was one thing, that Dr. Afari Gyan indirectly admitted that John Mahama was the beneficiary of all of these irregularities. His testimony that if the cancelled results are added to it, it will actually take John Mahama up by 0.01%, proves the case of the petitioners all along. That all of these irregularities, all of them went in concert to aid John Mahama to supposedly win the election.
So where lies the equity? Democracy is about equity. And if all these errors inured to only one candidate, then of course that declaration was an error. You cannot, all these transpositional errors and what have you, how come they all benefited only one person? Those are the questions that the judges will have to unravel. And let us come to the truth of this matter. And that justice must prevail for Ghana to be better developed so that the values that you and I were brought up on, we'll continue to adhere to them. Because nobody has ever won an election in 3 months in this country. Nobody has ever won an election in 3 months. Right from Kwame Nkrumah. We all saw the struggle, right from the UGCC on to all the presidents, to Limam, to Rawlings, to Kufuor, to Mills. The number of times Kufuor went, the number of times Mills went. And you don't go into an election without a policy. All it is Idebi Keke. Is that a policy? Please. And look at the gargantuan sums that were spent.
We're still trying to find out
in
where
this
the money
election. Went. Young boys being given Atakambu, people being given V8s.
Actually girls.
You know, computers. Look at the budget of the presidency in the last 3 months. Where did that money go? Then we are told that the meat is eaten and the bone is gone. It's left with the bone. Who ate the meat? Who ate the meat of it? And today we are in this situation. Afari Gyan, the NDC, have a responsibility to the people of this country.
They have a responsibility to the people of this country. So says Madam Otiko Jaba. Now, you can join in this discussion by calling 030-2211-701-324. As always, I'll repeat it. 030-2211-701-324. And then you can also make your thoughts be heard on the text line 1760, all networks. I'll repeat that. 1760, all networks. Now, we are waiting for your call so you can also express yourself. Let's welcome Masoud. Masoud, how are you doing?
Good evening, Nana.
Good evening.
Paul Masoud from Techima, Masoud America. Nana, I take this opportunity to greet the leadership of MPP, Nana Adudonko Akufo-Addo, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and Jake Otanka Obechibi Lamte. Concerning this case to court, and today the entire Ghanaians and the whole world are seeing that MPP surely want to win the case. Nana, why did I say that? Today, the EC boss, who is the returning officer and the chairman of EC, have said that he don't know the definition of overvoting. This is very, very, very strange. An EC boss who say you don't know the what overvoting is, and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia told you that overvoting is this, and today you don't know what overvoting is. Is it the judge who will tell you what overvoting is?
Perhaps.
This is the incompetence of NDC and the EC, and the secret is which the EC meant to.
Thank you very much for your call. We have Nandes on the line. How are you doing, Senior?
Please, good evening, and thank you very much for the good work done. My regards to the women's organizer, that her boy, the former DESCOM president, Wa Campus, worked with her and saw how good she was, and I believe that is the good thing of the NPP we are talking about. Yes, the matter of the day has to do with the court proceedings, and you know, the bad performance of Afari Gyan today is a clear example of a teacher who set an exam and giving out a marking scheme and later realized the students are scoring a particular question. And he decided to then tell them that, no, I am withdrawing the marking scheme because I've seen that you are scoring. And you see, all this that he's trying to do is an attempt to salvage his image and that of the NDC, and for that matter, John Mahama, because he has been part of this crime to ensure that John Mahama has been crowned the winner of this election. And exactly so, that is what happened. Okay. So we are only telling our supporters out there that we should continue praying. As we said, the battle is the Lord.
Thank you very much. And the battle continues to remain the Lord's. Christian, welcome. Hello, Christian.
Hello.
Yes, sir. You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Nana.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, Nana.
Good evening, Chief.
Yeah, so it's Afari Gyan saying that he doesn't know the definition of overvoting. Oh, my God. God should have mercy on us, Nana. Thank you.
God indeed will have mercy on Ghana, and we thank God for the peace that we continue to enjoy in this country as a result of some of the decisions that the three key men of the NPP have taken for us. Faustina, welcome. Hello, Faustina.
Hello.
Yeah, Faustina, welcome.
Thank you.
Today I have a lot of women. Hello? Oh, it's very sad that she was not able to stay on the line. My next caller, hello, how are you doing? Can you please turn down the volume on your television set, Alfred? Hello, Alfred.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
we thank the Almighty God for at least letting some of these truths come out. Today, we've been told that by Afari Gyan, Almighty Afari Gyan, that he cannot even give a simple definition of overvoting. Indeed, the truth will come out, and John Mama and the rest will be put to shame. MPP all the way. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Adams, welcome. Hello, Adams.
Hello, good evening, Nana.
Good evening, Chief. How are you doing?
How are you?
By His grace.
Good. Actually, I didn't have the opportunity to go through today's proceedings. But what I've realized is that, in fact, the action of Afari Gyan is uncalled for. And at his age, I think he should have retired on a very good note. But he has set a very bad precedent for the generation to come. So I'm only hoping and praying that God should let NPP win this case, so that he will be there and testify to it, so that others would not follow suit of his bad president.
Okay. Thank you too. Richard from Obuasi, welcome.
Then it's a disgrace to the nation.
Hello.
It doesn't deserve it. But the battle is for the Lord. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, but unfortunately we could not hear exactly what it is that you were trying to say. One of the things that also struck me personally from today's proceedings was that Dr. Kojo Afari Gyan actually admitted that one of the ways of curing the problems on the face of the pink sheet was to conduct an audit of the electoral results. My problem with that was that you were told there are problems, let's conduct an audit. You said, I won't conduct an audit. Go to court. We are in court now, and you come to court and say, oh, we should have conducted an audit. Really? My next caller is on the line. How are you doing, Senior? Hello, Emmanuel.
Hello?
Emmanuel from Nigeria, how are you doing?
Hello?
Hello, Emmanuel, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you people must brief us what is going on in Nigeria, in Ghana, because you don't know what is going on. So maybe you will brief us much about what is going on. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. That is one of the jobs that we're here to do, to educate and inform you as to what is happening in this particular matter. Mohammed, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm fine, thank you, Nana. What about you?
By His grace, we are surviving.
Hello?
Hello, Mohammed.
Yeah, today I'm very happy with my women's organizer. So, it's done well, like Dr. Mahmoud. But what I want to say that, I said now I'm 30 years old. So I want to say that the name from Tarzan Okubebe, that you should be careful because MPP is bigger than Okubebe. We are fighting for the party, and now why he come out anytime he try to destroy the party, but I promise you he can never ever destroy the MPP because MPP is bigger than Okubebe.
Okay. Thank you very much for your contribution. I have Al Hassan on the line. Al Hassan, how are
you? Good evening.
Good evening, Chief. How are you doing?
This I want to tell all MPP presidents of their good work done. I wish you well, and Nana, I wish Nana and everybody in MPP. In fact, NDC people is going to. But I don't know what to express myself. May the good Lord guide people and everybody in MPP. Now, I wish you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anissa, Allah, God will grant your wishes. That was my last caller. Unfortunately, I don't have enough time to pick any more calls. But let's come back to the studio. Madam Mutiko, it looks as though the people on the ground are receiving our message very well. It looks as though Ghanaians are looking up to us as the hope of this country. What do you have to say to those that want to hear from the NPP as a political party? You are the National Women's Organizer.
What I want to say to them is that the battle is still the Lord's. We must have faith, and faith goes with courage and hope, believing in a cause. The MPP cause is the cause of right and of freedom. That is what Ghana was built on. It is not about Nanado or about you and I. This court case is about the destiny of Ghana. Its outcome is going to affect generations. It's going to deepen our democracy. It's going to bring about electoral reforms and change in how we elect our presidents, so that you don't take people for granted. We must believe in quality and not in mediocrity, because our ancestors put their lives on the line for us. And so we are charged with that responsibility to ensure that we uphold the tenets of our constitution. We uphold the beliefs and the values in the national anthem to fight for the cause of right and of freedom, so that the oppressors will not have that chance. And anybody who goes to an election and tries to defraud the people of Ghana, tries to use Kululu, tries to use Forward 9, tries to use errors, today they are calling them transpositional errors, and clerical errors and technicalities, to rape the people of Ghana and blind us so that you can lead by force, must beware that we of this generation are not going to stand for it, just like our forefathers did not stand for it. We will fight for the freedom. And I want to thank Nanado Dankwa on behalf of all women for sending this case to court, because in places like Rwanda and others, it's women and children who have suffered the most when there is war and strife. But for the action of taking it to court, there will be tension in this country. We were sitting on a time bomb, and we need to thank him for that. I believe he deserves a Nobel Peace Prize. And we must continue to pray for him. And the saboteurs and those ugly, malicious liars and their backdoor politics, I say to them loud and clear, democracy belongs to all of us. And all of us are stakeholders. Alhaji Mustafa has died. We are blessed to be alive. And we're not just going to sit down and allow people to denigrate the New Patriotic Party or Ghana. We are part of building this nation. And we will build it come what may. They don't have more rights than we do. We all have equal rights. And if somebody's tilapia is stolen and he can take his watchman to court, then we can also take our case to court. They said we didn't have a case. And so they didn't come prepared because they couldn't take their case to court in 2004. By grace, we have been able to take it to court, and the people of Ghana are seeing that. When Afari Gyan said, no verification, no vote, somebody else came and said that we should vote without verification. Even in Kenya, where they are more than us, they did the elections in 1 day. But because of Kululu, they decided to do it in 2 days. If we remember, we were told that the huge amounts that the EC was seeking was to ensure that there will be backups. And that wherever there was a problem, they would quickly bring in the backups. We spent over 200 million on this election. Did we get value for our money? People should not take us for a ride. This is a Ghana that we are all part of. Nobody should think that because of Humenisumamia, now the Mekua Beguso. We are Ghanaians, we are warriors, and we want to be proud to be Ghanaians. This election was a disgrace, the way it was conducted. There was no equity. People coming out to say, somebody said we should take handkerchiefs, and so that is not the case in court. Or some campaign manager said that it was free and fair. That is his opinion. The case in court is that irregularities, violations, and malpractices, did they occur during this 2012 elections? By the statutes. And if they did they affect the outcome? That is the case in court. And we took over 11,000 issues to court. Anybody who talks outside those 11,000 is afraid. And those who say that they are tolerant, how come they were being rude in the court? They were throwing books. And because their case is not going well for them, they want to bring so-called leading members. Leading members, let me say this. The party doesn't belong to any one person. It belongs to all of us. And if you're a leading member, you should treat the New Patriotic Party with respect and give confidence to the people who have worked so hard, the foot soldiers. Give them confidence. A leader inspires. You don't derail people. And those who are out for Dr. Bawumia, that means they are out for me as well. All of us who voted for Nanado Dankwa, if you counter or fight one of us, you fight all of us. And we are fighting for freedom. I have 4 children, and I want them to grow up in a Ghana that they can believe in. And that is why we are in court. And this is a warning to them. When you fight Dr. Bawumia or Nanadu or Jake, you fight all of us. United we stand, and divided we fall. People of MPP, people of Ghana, let us stand together and focus and fight for what is right and the justice that will bring up the destiny of this country.
I can
God bless Ghana.
Sense your passion, but unfortunately, it is time for us to close. I have hosted in the studio today Madam Otiko Jaba, who is the National Women's Organizer of the New Patriotic Party. My name is Nana Kofi Opondamo. As we close the show, I just want to tell you that the battle continues, remains the Lord's. And so tonight, just before you go to sleep, get on your knees, say a prayer in whatever religion that you believe in. And we know that the good Lord will grant us justice. Good evening and good night.